Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a comparison slash review of these new skin enhancer. I have here the Westman Atelier. These are called the Liquid Super Loaded Highlighter, and I have the Chanel No1. I think this is actually called a skin enhancer. I also have here the Chantecaille, the Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint. So what I've done, I've kind of tested all of these out in natural light. I've recorded the application, compared them side by side, and I'm just going to give you kind of my thoughts on the products and how they compare. I've had so many questions about the Westman Atelier, the Chanel, and so I just wanted to do a video that's probably going to be long, but that kind of reviews all of these products, all of the colors, and compares them with each other. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I hope this will be helpful. Grab yourself something to drink and let's get started. I actually did my homework here a little bit and kind of made sure I had all the information about these products. I'm going to start with these Westman Atelier. These are the Liquid Super Loaded All Over Illuminating Drops with Vitamin C. These are $58 and they come in 3 different shades. I have purchased all of them. You have Peau de Rosé, Peau de Pêche, and Peau de Soleil. Now you guys know that I am slightly obsessed with their super loaded highlighters, specifically the Peau de Pêche. I have here these 4 colors. I think these are all the colors that they have. So they have the Peau de Pêche, which is my absolute favorite. This is pretty much like a highlighter. It's fabulous. Probably my favorite product in my entire collection. Then you have Peau de Rosé, which, you know, I like, but it does have some glitter through it. You have the Peau de Santé, I'm not going to talk about that one, and then Peau de Soleil. So they're pretty much saying that these liquid illuminators are these in liquid form. So here are, you know, the original ones. Now, I don't think these products are similar whatsoever. I don't think it's like the liquid formula of that. These are very different. I would say these are like a beautiful highlighter or an all over kind of glow. But these are different and they actually tell you can put them under foundation pretty much as a primer, mix it with the foundation, or put it on top of the foundation. They also claim that they have all these skincare ingredients, including vitamin C, that over time it's just going to brighten up your skin. The way they describe these on the website is a lightweight sheer complexion enhancer, adds life to your skin in an instant. You have multi-dimensional pearls that reflect the light, it makes you look youthful, and letting your skin show through for a unique, real finish. It has a concentrate blend between vitamin C, antioxidants, and nourishing oils that help retexturize, even tone, and brighten your skin over time. Now, I have seen a lot of reviews. I have watched Gucci, which is the owner of Westman Atelier, talk about how she uses different colors for different areas of the face or for different reasons. The Peau de Rosé is supposed to be a more brightening. It has this definitely more cool tone rosy tint to it, so it definitely is quite a brightening. She recommends using this under your eyes to kind of bring brightness to that area and help a little bit with you know, the dullness under the eyes. I have tried this and it actually looks beautiful under makeup, under concealer, and you know, it definitely helps that under eye. I also put it on top of the foundation and it really gives such a beautiful brightening highlighter. It definitely has that rosiness, but these are quite sheer, so they don't have a very intense base to it, so you're able to, I don't know, use any of the colors pretty much. I'll talk about Peau de Soleil in a little bit, but Peau de Rosé and the Pêche, both of these are quite sheer once you blend them out. You do get a little bit more brightness with a Peau de Rosé, and you definitely get a little bit more of that coolness from it. Now, Peau de Pêche is the one that I I think a lot of people are interested in. I mean, Peau de Pêche in the regular highlighter is like my favorite thing. But here I find it to be a little bit more like a skin tone, and Gucci actually says that because the peachy undertone, this can also correct and even out your skin a little bit, and I do think it helps a little bit, but I wouldn't say that this color does so much to correct my, uneven skin. If anything, I find this really beautiful as a highlighter or mixed in with the foundation. I think it gives a really beautiful finish. But under it, it just gives a glow. I don't find that this gives any correction. It's too sheer. Now the rose, because it has all that pearlescent and that cool pink, it definitely is a little bit more brightening, and you see it on the skin. The Peau de Pêche on my skin tone, it kind of just blends into my skin and just gives a beautiful highlighter. And moving on to Peau de Soleil. Now this one, I actually wanted this since I first saw it. I love these kind of bronzy primers, highlighters. I use this multiple ways. I want to say that this is my most used out of all of these. And so I'll show you just how it looks. In the video, I did show you just me applying it wherever I would contour or bronze my skin. However, you can absolutely put this all over the skin under a foundation or skin tint, and it'll just give you such a bronzy look. I actually wore it before just by itself, like have this bronziness all over, and it just gives such a beautiful, kind of like you just came from the beach look. I like the color. Again, these are sheer. They definitely have a color to them, but they're not going to be super intense. So you can really use all the colors no matter what skin tone you have. Even if you're super deep, I think you can use Peau de Pêche, Peau de Rosé, or Peau de Soleil, or again, if you're super fair, you can kind of use these in different areas. Another beautiful way is combining this in the foundation. It'll give just a little bit more bronziness to the color of your foundation. So if you're, I don't know, in the summer and you need to darken up a foundation or give it just a little bit of warmth, this is a beautiful way. And the way I probably like it the most is actually on top of the foundation, kind of like a bronzer topper. It definitely has, a sheen to it. This is a glowy product. It's an illuminating drops. So it'll give you a lot of glow to your skin, but in the summer, I just find that it looks so good. So I actually really enjoy putting it as a bronzer topper or just by itself. If I have a skin tint with a little concealer and this kind of on the outskirts of my face, I think it looks beautiful. It will not give you like this super intense bronze. These are sheer. So, it's kind of like an extra step to give you more of a illuminating, radiant, kind of bronzy look. Now the texture of these are, I would say, thicker than I expected. I expected this to be almost like watery, kind of. I have the Lisa Eldridge right here, kind of like these Lisa Eldridge highlighters. These are very almost watery, they blend into the skin. They give a beautiful sheen, and you don't feel them on. They're very light. The Westman Atelier are thicker, and they're a little bit oily. So this is where the negatives kind of start for some people. These can be a little tacky. They're not anything excessive. Like, it's not something that I noticed throughout the day, but if you have oilier skin, I could see how these could, kind of separate on your skin. But because of that texture, because they are a little thicker, I can kind of see how some people won't enjoy this texture. It could be a little bit too oily. They do have a ton of different oils in here to, help with your skin and all that, the moisturizing factor. But because of that, I don't think these work well on top of like full heavy makeup or foundation. Because of the oils and everything, if you apply it over a really heavy foundation, I can see how it will separate. The oils from the Illuminator will break up your foundation, and yeah, there's just separation there that I've noticed when I wore, like, let's say my Givenchy Prisme Libre, which is like a full coverage matte. It did not work well with that. However, I had no issues with more of my lighter coverage, like my skin tints that I wear like 80% of the time, or with my light to medium, even medium coverage. But when I got to the fuller coverage, these on top, I felt like it would break away and kind of remove some of the foundation because they are thicker. They're not these super light, airy, watery consistency. It definitely has some grip to it, and you can feel it on the skin. Another thing that I want to mention is because of that texture, it's not going to do much for your pores. You know, this is not going to blur your pores. I wouldn't say it exaggerated them, but they were definitely more noticeable because you had, you know, that illumination kind of all over the pores. I try to kind of keep it on the outskirts of my face rather than right here. However, when I use the rosé under my eyes, I had no issues with any, you know, emphasized wrinkles or pores or anything like that. If anything, I kind of felt like it's smoothed out on my under eyes because of the texture so creamy and moisturizing. But that's another thing that I want you to consider, that if you have really large pores, I don't think that this will help. Let's just say that. I don't think it's awful, but it's something that I've noticed. And I'm bringing that up because the other ones that I'm talking about do not do that. So in conclusion, I do really enjoy these. I think they are very much my style. I prefer lighter makeup. I love a glossy everything on the face. I enjoy skin tints. I enjoy to use my hands for makeup. I just kind of like dab and like paint my face with my hands. So if you're kind of like that, I think you would really enjoy these. They also have a almost lemon tart scent to them. It's actually quite pleasing. I enjoy it a lot. It's nothing synthetic. It doesn't smell synthetic at all. But these are the Westman Atelier, and I think my favorite, I don't know if I have a favorite because, again, different colors, I use them for different things. Shockingly, Peau de Pêche is the one that I've been reaching for the least, and Peau de Rosé and Peau de Soleil kind of even. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but these are $58 and you get 1 ounce of product. Moving on to Chanel No. 1, their Skin Enhancer. This one, again, it gives you 1 ounce, I'm pretty sure, yes, 1 ounce, and it is $60, so a little bit more expensive than Westman Atelier. This also comes in 3 shades. I have gotten a large one of the soft pink and 2 samples of the other ones. This also claims to have all these skincare benefits, and it has the red camellia in the Chanel No. 1 line. The red camellia is pretty much the star ingredient, which just kind of helps to energize and helps pollutants, like protect your skin for pollutants. You know, my philosophy with skincare in makeup, I prefer to pay less and not have the skincare and just, you know, do my own skincare before I apply makeup. However, I will say that because these are almost like primers, or you can put them straight on your face, I can see the benefits in having more skincare ingredients rather than like a bronzer or a blush. Like, how is the skincare gonna penetrate the foundation, the primer, the moisturizer, all these things that you have under your bronzer? Like, it makes no sense to me. But in something like this, I can kind of appreciate the fact that there are skincare ingredients. Now this one has different claims. This is supposed to help blur, kind of even out your skin, correct your skin, and it has a light reflection in it. I actually have here, it says that after you immediately apply it, your skin will look 60% more radiant. Your appearance of pores is diminished by 53%. I found that interesting. And after 1 month, the look of imperfections is reduced by 6%, and the complexion appears even and 5% more radiant. So I kind of thought that the claims were a little interesting, mostly because this is a radiant product, yet the claims that it blurs your skin. This one comes in 3 shades: soft pink, medium coral, and intense amber. My favorite one is soft pink, just because it matches my skin tone quite well. Actually, medium coral is one that I'm considering purchasing because I do like that it bronzes me up a little bit, and it has that peachiness that again helps kind of correct your skin tone. Now these, compared to the Westman Atelier, are so different, and to me they were like almost night and day. Not really, but these do so different. They actually don't even say that these are illuminators or something that you put as a highlighter. They are supposed to be almost like a primer to blur your skin, give a little bit of radiance, or you could wear it on its own, or you can mix it into foundation or put foundation on top of it. Now this is so bizarre. This is blurring, and I mean, I don't know how much the camera will pick it up. You know, I try to record in natural light, that way it will pick up, you know, every single pore. But just in normal light, whenever I applied this, it's almost like I put a veil of perfection on my skin. It has slight radiance. It's not too much. It's not like a Westman Atelier. Those are illuminators. This is an enhancer. It just makes your skin look so much blurrier. It gives a little radiance. It almost corrects your skin. And again, here I'm getting into a little bit of the undertones. The soft pink, it definitely has a little bit of pink, but it's not that cool tone pink that the Westman Atelier has. This is a very, I would say a little bit more warm pink. You could see right there, just how beautiful it looks. And it blurs. It's kind of magic to me, because usually these radiant products don't really blur your pores. You know, they tend to emphasize, like the Westman Atelier, I would say it's more on the emphasizing side, but this has something. It also is a little thicker, but it's not sticky at all. It dries down. This sets. It's kind of like a skin enhancer meets skin tint. Like, it definitely has more color to it, where I feel very comfortable using this on its own. Now the soft pink is a little bit brightening, and because of that I kind of want to have the medium shade, just because I could combine these two and I could have like kind of like just this and go a little bit of concealer, and I would feel very comfortable with my makeup. Or, you know, if I'm a little bit more tan, I can use the medium by itself. And in the wintertime, I could use the soft pink. But these are so unique. I kind of feel like this is very innovative. I've heard people kind of saying, oh, it's nothing revolutionary. I actually think it is revolutionary. I don't own a product that does what this does. Again, look at the radiance, just the smoothness, and yet even my hand looks blurred. It's beautiful. I'm so happy I bought this one, because I almost skipped just the release because I was really late, and I was like, oh, it's another skin enhancer. But truly, this is something else. Again, the medium shade, I kind of showed you the soft pink and the medium shade side by side, so you can see the difference. It's not super big. Like, you just need one. But I can definitely tell, like, the medium shade, it bronzes me up a little bit. And now the deeper one, I showed you just how I used as a bronzer, and I actually really liked it like that. It was definitely a warm bronzer, but it did such a good job. And because this has more pigment than the Westman Atelier, it has a base to it, you know, it gave you quite a lot of bronze. So I mean, I love these. As you can tell, I adore these. I think they're kind of new. I would say they're very different than Westman Atelier. I don't think they do the same thing. I also tried the soft pink as highlighter. Actually, I'm wearing it today right there, and it worked really well. I was actually surprised. And again, because it has that blurriness effect, even as a highlighter, it kind of blurs this area here. Whenever I put these on top of my skin as a highlighter, I will always use my fingers. You could use a brush. you could use a brush, but I just find like the fingers, you can tap it a little bit better and be softer than a brush. You don't want to swipe these over foundation, the Westman Atelier or the Chanel. This is fabulous. I think at least go and swatch it. I know Ulta carries it. I bought mine at Ulta, Chanel boutiques, and I think that's about it. I will link down below kind of where you can find it. But these are beautiful. Does it have a scent? Yes, it has that Camilla, the red Camilla scent that the Chanel No.1 has. I would say it's not really noticeable, like once you have it on. Maybe if you like, yeah, if you smell your hand, I can smell it, but it wasn't overwhelming. Like the Westman Atelier, I could smell that lemon in it more than I could smell the red camellia in here. So before I move on to the Chantecaille, which I'm just gonna like slightly talk about that because I'm trying to focus on these two, I'm going to show you how the Chanel soft pink looks compared to Westman Atelier Peau de Rosé. And you can see kind of side by side that the Westman Atelier are just brighter. They're illuminators. The Chanel is a skin kind of perfector, enhancer. It definitely just makes your skin look better, more blurring, and I just find that the Chanel by itself looks so much better. A little bit of concealer, I could pull this off by itself, but the Westman Atelier, I personally can't pull it off by itself. I need something with it. It is an illuminator. Actually, that's a lie. I have worn Westman Atelier just as a highlighter by itself with nothing on my skin, and it actually looked good, but I had to be kind of precise where I wanted to put that so it won't emphasize pores. But the Chanel, I don't know, there's something about it that I find very unique. Now let's talk about Chantecaille. This is kind of like a bonus, and I'm gonna try to be quick. I told you this will be long. This is the Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint, and this is the one I've had the least. I have just received this, I think last week, so I'm like still learning the product. This is different. It is a very light and gel-like, and it's very cooling. It's beautiful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the foundation, but it's lighter in texture. Now this one, I would say it's more similar to the Chanel than the Westman Atelier. This has a sheen to it, a lightness to it, and brightness. The Chanel is more blurring. Like I even have it here on my hand, and I can see the Chanel is a little bit more blurring. But the Chantecaille definitely gives a filter on the skin, this radiance. It's definitely more glowier, but it's not emphasizing pores. It's not a highlighter either. It really is like a soft primer face tint, something that just gives brightness and almost corrects a little bit because of that rosiness. It gives just brightness to the skin. It doesn't give as much coverage as the Chanel, so you can kind of see them side by side, and hopefully you can kind of tell, but they are different. But between all these three, I find these to be more similar. But out of all of them, if I were to pick a favorite, I think it would be the Chanel. It just impressed me so much. It did so much more than I expected it to do. And I understand that the Westman Atelier is not meant to be a blurring primer. It's an illuminating. So I want to make sure that you understand that these are very different products. But if I were to pick one, I think I would pick the Chanel in soft pink. But if I wanted more of a highlighter, I would definitely go for the Westman Atelier. So those are my comparisons and side by side. I really hope this video was helpful and you got to see all the colors side by side, combined under foundation, over foundation. And by the way, all of these worked amazing under foundation. I had absolutely no issues. Also, the Chanel did not break on top of heavier foundation. I didn't have that issue. This isn't as oily as the Westman Atelier. The Westman Atelier, it's kind of like dolphin skin. You're gonna get that super glossy dolphin skin. Love it. I think he looks beautiful. This is a little bit more soft, just a little radiance, more natural. So this, I didn't have issues with it on top of heavy foundation. And the Chantecaille, honestly, I didn't put it over foundation. I just put it under as a primer. So I hope this was helpful and that I covered all your questions or concerns about these products. Leave me a comment down below if you have any other questions. I will do my best to respond to all of them. And like this video, share it with somebody that you think it may help them to kind of get the distinction between enhancer, illuminator, primer, all that good stuff. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.